What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hoop Portal. Luka Doncic has just signed a 3-year extension with the Lakers for 165 million, averaging out to about 55 million a year. There is a player option in it, which most likely means he's going to opt out and try to extend for the Supermax. But if I am Luka Doncic, I'm furious at Nico Harrison and Patrick Dumont. Understanding that if he had been able to stay in Dallas, which Luka wanted to, he would have been eligible for a supermax 5 years, 315, which comes out to 63 million a year. Now, in the grand scheme of it, it might seem like that $8 million a year is not a big difference, but reality is in California versus Texas, you have a huge discrepancy in income tax. Now, the NBA has this thing called a jock tax, where it doesn't just mean if you're in Dallas, you only pay Texas income taxes. If you go play a game against the Lakers or Clippers or Warriors, whatever it is, there's a tax that comes with earning money in that state. So this isn't just a straight up number. But realistically, when you look at it, he was set to make 189 over 3 years in Dallas, which is now going to be almost reduced after taxes by losing him $100 million on this deal. So not only did Nico send Luka to LA that he didn't want to go, he wanted to stay in Dallas, you're also costing him another $100 million. Now it appears Luka is highly motivated from this. We see him getting in shape, we see him revving up for the season. If you've watched the Mavericks closely though over the last few years, this is not the first time we've seen skinny Luka getting ready for the season. The problem with Luka has been he hasn't been able to maintain that throughout the season and all the way up to the playoffs. But if we remember a year ago, he was looking like the best player in the league and got the Mavericks all the way to the NBA Finals, which seems to be extremely forgotten over the last few months. And I think if Luka can keep this form, stay in shape, there's no reason to believe he shouldn't be a lead runner for MVP next year. Which then brings the case to LeBron's situation. And what does this mean for LeBron? I don't think it changes much for him. He's not dumb. He's going to understand that obviously the Lakers have to look at Luka for the future. LeBron is 40 and Luka is 26. And with that being said, he has to understand that unless you could just drop him in somewhere, which is not a situation that could happen this season, it's not like you could just drop him into the Cavs or the Knicks or the Heat out east and say, okay, here we go. There's going to be a trade, which means a team is going to have to give up assets for him. There's a lot of talk about the Heat, and that could actually potentially be a good fit. Maybe it happens, maybe it not. I don't know how Pat Riley and LeBron still feel about each other. That could be something to squash, so I don't really think that one's going to happen. But I think what it could be is if you're LeBron and looking at this, the best player you're going to be able to play with next year and the year after is probably Luka, unless you can go to Milwaukee or unless you can go to Denver, which neither one of those options are going to happen. So if you're LeBron, you need to stay put. I think the Lakers with an off season and a full season to gear up to the playoffs will look a lot better than they did in the playoff series against Minnesota last year. And truth be told, they were one of the better teams in basketball when Luka came there. Give it a year, maybe give it two. You obviously have established Luka as your future. See how this plays out. And if LeBron has to be traded in the season, I think the Lakers and LeBron would be open to it. What are they able to get back? I'm not really sure right now. The other big one could be the Knicks, LeBron and Cat straight up. Does it help both teams? I think it would. But if I'm a Lakers fan, I would preferably not want Cat as my big. That's just my own personal opinion. But it'll be interesting to see what the Lakers look like this year. How do they look from game one versus game 82 going into the playoffs if they are able to make the playoffs? All in all, though, I think this is really good for Luka. He's going to have a way to quote unquote make that money back, but $100 million is not something that just comes back. That's a lot of money to miss out on for a trade that you didn't want to happen in the first place. And obviously, all the fans didn't want to happen either. But remember, guys, like, subscribe, enter your name in the portal. The question below is how good do you think the Lakers will be this year? What is their ceiling? And are they a true NBA contender? Thanks. See you guys on the next one.